Okay, so so now we have our cart item ready, right? So whenever the user clicks on it, we have our cart item ready. We have added the price, our thumbnail, name, attributes. We have the slug. We have our product ID. We have our shipping, and if it is available, our quantity, and also our tax. So I think our cart is ready. So now after the user clicks on it, we have to store it somewhere, right? So to do that, we'll have to use Redux. So what I'll do is I will go to directly to Redux Toolkit, and from there we can just click on Quick Start. We are using JavaScript, not TypeScript. So first of all, they are asking us to configure the store, right? So what we'll do is in our source, do we have a Redux? Yes. So we already have a Redux folder. So now we are going to populate it. So first of all, I will create a file called store.js, right? And then I'll just take this from their documentation and copy paste it here, right? And then what is the next step? So provide the Redux store to React, right? So this will create our product, the configure store function from Redux Toolkit. So now what they're saying is you have to add a provider component from React Redux to our like top of our component tree. So what I will do is I'll go to the layouts and main layout. So maybe other layouts will also use store. So instead of the main layout, I'll just add the store to here, right? So I'll just wrap the main layout inside a provider. Oh, sorry, my bad. First of all, we have to install it, right? So uh, okay, let's take it from here. Okay, so there is some dependency conflict. We'll just do force. Okay, I think we're good now. And then I will take the provider component from React Redux. So as you can see, it is coming from React Redux. And then inside that, I will just put our regular main layout. Okay. So then what do we have to do? We have to give it a prop that is store. Okay. Yes, the store, and this store will be the store that we have configured here. This one. So it is already exported. I can just import it here. Let's say store. Okay. Okay, I think our setup is done. Now we have to do is create a Redux state slice, right? So add a new file name source features. Okay. Import createSlice API from Redux Toolkit. Create a slice requires a string name to identify the slice. Okay. We'll just follow the code. So for our Redux, so I'm just following their official documentation, but I will try to explain some things. So initially, this is our store, right? So this store represents the whole state of our Redux. So whatever state we are storing here, it will be in our store. That means this Redux store. Then we have to pass this store as a props to our provider component. So this provider component is coming from React Redux. So as I told you earlier, Redux is not binded to React, so it works with other JS libraries too. So you know that our Redux, everything is managed by states, but in React, but Redux state and not the same thing. React and Redux state, they are completely different. So if we just use a store, then we import something from the store, it won't work, like it won't update our UI, because the our React won't be able to catch whatever state is updating in the store. So we have to connect these two. So now what we have to do is we have to use the provider component from React Redux and give the store as a prop. So now whatever children is inside our provider component, these components will have access to our store. And whenever this store updates, similar to Redux React stores, our UI will update, right? So now our Redux store will act like our React state. So that's why we have to use the provider from React Redux. Okay, all right. Now what we have to do is we have to create a slice. So I will do is I will create another folder inside Redux. I will say reducers, right? And inside reducer, I will create a new slice. Let's call it card slice dot js. Okay. So what do we need? We'll need a initial state. Okay. Okay. So in our case, we'll instead of value, we'll say cart items, and initially let's say it is null, right? And then what we have to create a slice with the createSlice function. Okay, so we'll say const, we'll name it cart slice equals to createSlice. It will come from Redux Toolkit and it will take an object. So at first we have to give it a name, right? The name property. So the name property is required. It is mandatory, and you have to give different names to your createSlice, each slice. So that means whenever you are working with React in a component, if you have three different states, you give them all different names and everything. So you have to do the same here. So if it is for cart, we'll just name it cart, right? Then the second property, you'll have to give it the initial state. So this is our initial state. So this will be the state similar to React states. This state will work like act as a React state from now on, because we passed the store to our provider component here with the data from React Redux. Okay. And then initial states, then we have to put some reducers, right? So what are actually reducers? Let's search what are Redux reducers, right? Let's go to reducers, project setup. uh, Writing reducers. Okay, I don't think we have it here. Should go to this one. Okay. So reducers in React are pure functions that determines changes to an application states. So reducer is one of the building blocks of Redux. So that's what we have to simply understand first, that for example, like I will give you a context so you can understand better. So if you are working with like normal React and you have an state, so the first property is your state, and the second property is your set state function, right? So that's how we manage React states. But now that we have our state setup, right? Our state is ready. Sorry. So our initial state is ready. So how do we change the state, right? How do we change the value of our state? So that's why we have reducers. So as it says here, that they are pure functions that determines the changes to an application state. That means if we want to change any states, then in our Redux code we have to write some reducers. So they are simply just functions that have the power to change your state, right? Your Redux state. So to do that, what we have to do is we can again go to their documentation and we can see how they are writing the states. writing the reducers. So we have a reducer property, and it will take an object, and inside the object we can define our reducers. For example, this one will be a reducer, right? So what I will do, just for example, I will just add a count. So